What do we have here then? I didn't think that camera angle through, did I? How can I be in shot? Does that work? I'm not redoing it, you'll have to bear with me. Well, you know what we've got here? It's a 1994 CBR900RR Fireblade in Urban Tiger flavour, which is, I think, if I had to choose my top 10 motorbikes of all time, I think this might be in my top 10 in this colour. Fucking epic motorbike. So why is it here? It stood for a decade, more than a decade. Hasn't been outside, but it's been in storage somewhere. And it was very, very sort of grimy and dusty. Don't know whether it's had a dust cover on it or anything. So I've just given it my usual, and it hasn't come up brilliantly, but I've given it my usual Built Hamber Auto Foam touchless wash just to get the worst off it before I start actually doing anything to it. I'm going to, once I've got its clothes off, the tank, the seat unit, the belly pan and stuff, I'll take it back outside and give it a proper degrease and a proper scrub. But I just wanted to, it's been here a few weeks now, I just wanted to get the measure of it and get it in bits and start ordering bits for it. I've already scared myself by looking inside the fuel tank. That's not great. I think what we'll do first, let's get the tank and the seat unit and the belly pan off. I'm keen to just, I'm sure it's fine, right? It's a Honda, so it's going to be fine. Let's get the little bung out the end of the crankshaft. Let's just turn the engine by hand. I'm sure it's absolutely fine. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. I've noticed that the fork stanchions are quite rusty, so I think it's going to end up with new fork stanchions. God knows what state the carburetors are in. And we've got the rusty tank to deal with, and the fuel tap is obviously going to be completely in a mess. Calipers are going to be, it pushes all right. Tyres are a little bit flat. The brakes aren't seized, but calipers are going to need caliper seals. Chain and sprockets, they look rusty. We'll have a look at that. Let's get it on an ABBA stand, I think, is the first thing. Start taking a few bits off and find out what we're up against. First thing third, let me show you in this tank. Oh my good God. Here, I'll take a butcher's at this. Let's get a bore scope and get a better look. Uh-oh, my daughter's home. Stand by for noise. All right, baby girl? I was filming, but you interrupted me as normal. How was your day?
Can you not post it now?
Hey?
Can you not post it?
Have a look in here. Look in there. Smell it. Stick your nose to that and smell it. What's it smell like?
I feel like it smells like a type of dessert. Tiramisu.
Smells like tiramisu, does it?
Yeah. It
Smells like a rusty fuel tank to me.
Yeah, it smells like tiramisu. Let me smell it. It's like the cake.
Wow.
It smells like the cake and looks like the cake.
It does smell kind of sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Was your day all right?
Yeah.
Any knowledge in your brain? Yeah, let me, sorry, interrupted. Let me get a bore scope, get a better look of what's going on in the bottom. In fact, let me suck out all that stale fuel, then we can get a proper measure of it, can't we? I have absolutely no idea, fucking hell, how that smells like tiramisu. I don't know where she's been getting her tiramisu from. Oh my God, look at the colour of that fuel. Wowzers. Oh, I thought we might get chunks. Just brownness. Okay. Of all the times to not wear gloves, Jim. Oh God, it stinks. It's the state now. A little tiny bit in the bottom. Holy smoke. That is nasty. Put the bore scope in there for you. I think what we'll do is we'll get the tank off and I can get the dregs out the bottom, get the fuel tap out, perhaps get a little bit of a better look then, unbolt this seat, which isn't bolted down. Okay. Oh wowzers. We have what looks like an old-fashioned, is that an old-fashioned spy ball? You tell me. Looks like a spy ball to me. Weren't the old spy balls like that? That's going in the bin, no doubt. Interestingly, there isn't a, on the key, there's no, you know, fob for an alarm system. Let's get the tank off. What's the betting? Oh, it's a bit seized in. What's the betting that the fuel pipe is like fucking Bakelite? I'm scared for the carburetors, I've got to say. You're already in the off position. Does that tap even move? Haha, tap is fucking solid. I might be wrong. I don't think you can get rebuild kits for these taps. Am I lying? I feel like that might be true for some reason. Pointy nose pliers. Well, it's not completely rock hard. It has a little bit of rubberiness left in it. Be putting a new one on it though, if I can get one. It is a formed pipe though, do you know what I mean? It's not just a straight bit of pipe. Is that torch helping or not? Don't know whether it is. That's definitely not helping. All pretty original. What next? We might as well, while we're here, I'll deal with that tank in a minute. We might as well just get the carburetors off, hadn't we, and get it over and done with. Let's have a look inside them, see what's going on. So a really awesome sign is none of these airbox screws are fucking rounded off, which is often the case. It all looks very original. I wonder if there's a mouse house in here. Wouldn't be the first time. Some very smart person had the foresight to put copper grease on all the screws, so they're just like new still. Oh my fucking god. I was actually joking when I said, is there a mouse house in here? Fuck me. Okay. I was not expecting that. Fucking hell. Stand by. Let's get you a closer look. Fuck me. Okay. Very, 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 very carefully. I'm gonna need two hands. I'm gonna have to put the camera down. I'll put my gloves back on. Fucking hell, guys. You know what I might do? I think I might just get my vacuum cleaner because it's so thick. Shit the bed. Let's get the Henry on the job. So it hasn't, can you hear me over the Hoover? it hasn't been able to eat its way all the way through because there's a metal piece to the air filter, thankfully, because I have seen engines completely fucking ruined because they've eaten through the air filter. Let me turn that off. They've eaten through the air filter and all the shit's dropped down, inlet valve's been open and it's filled the cylinder up, and it was just no way of cleaning it out, so it was cylinder head off. Oh god, a little bit like that. Okay, this is bad. This is fucking really bad. Fucking hell. Hoover. Get a look down that port, open the slide up and have an eyeball. Okay, what have we got here then? Well, obviously the butterfly's shut. But the problem is, I've been opening and closing the throttle. As has the other guy. Let's stick the bore scope down in there. Leave that in there like that. Let's put the bore scope down in there, see what we can see. Put you there like that. Let's do you a recording so you can see. Well, thank fuck for that. Inlet valves are shut. Well, that's pretty handy. And then the other ones, they're shut. There's a little bit of rubbish there. Well, they can't all be shut. It don't work like that. Well, they're open a bit. Nice and clean that though. I think we got away with that. What I'm going to do is get the carbs off and get a better look in the inlet manifold. Then I'll get the plugs out. I can bore scope in the plug holes. Obviously check for any foreign bodies in the cylinders before we even turn it over by hand. If necessary, we can wash out the cylinders with brake cleaner, airline them out, get rid of anything that's in there before we start. You know what I'm saying? Right, let's get these carburetors off and out the way. It kind of goes without saying, if you've had a rat or a mouse or some sort of urchin living in your motorbike, they do like to eat wiring looms and rubber pipes, and that is obviously a massive concern, because if it's munched its way through a wiring loom, it'll cause you all sorts of headaches. But it seems that, and I didn't say it out loud, I was paying attention to what was in the airbox, and it just looked like seeds and the orange stuff, obviously the paper the air filter's made of. There didn't seem to be any bits of rubber, or you can sometimes see, and I've seen it, in where they've made their nest, blue and red and little yellow specks of stuff, which is the insulation off the wiring loom, off the coloured wires. But as far as I can tell, looking at the wiring loom, I can see it hasn't been anywhere near it, or any of the rubber pipes, which is a little bit of a blessing. Why am I trying to pull that up without undoing the screw? Focus, Jim! Yeah, so, I mean, they can if you get a mouse eating the wiring loom on a modern motorbike, fucking hell, the amount of money worth of damage they can do is terrifying. What's great about these old superbikes, like this Fireblade, is they're pretty bloody simple, really. There's not a lot to them. You know, there's no rider aids, there's no ABS. It's just a big engine, some brakes and a frame. Wiring loom is pretty minimal. There's not a huge amount going on. Okay, pipage. Yeah, it just looks completely unmolested, thank God. I think we've dodged a massive bullet here. Right, carbs off. Somebody has been under here before me because these throttle cables are loose. Let's get that choke cable undone. Let's get you out of the way. Choke plungers aren't seized up. It's a good start. Let's get rid of that as well off there. How hard is that? It's alright. I mean, it's rubbery. It would go again. If I can get new pipe though, it's having new pipe. But like I said earlier, they're formed, so you don't want to. You want to try and keep it original, don't you, by getting the proper bendy pipes for it. I'll have to have a look, see if they're available or not. It's going to have to, the bodies of the carbs are going to have to be split. I can tell immediately because this is the little T-pieces. That's just flopping around. So the O-rings are rock hard. Leaks fill. They're going to need a proper going through these carburetors. Which, as you can probably appreciate, is not a fast exercise. Right, let's get these clamps undone under here. And once again, you're in my way. The... fucking that's a bit bright, that torch. The inlet manifold rubbers, if I can get them, and they're not fucking outrageously expensive, it's definitely having them. For obvious reasons. I don't know how rubbery they're going to be. It might be that they just can't go again. In which case we'll have to come up with a plan. Oh, fucking hell, why do I put the camera where I fucking want to be constantly? Okay. Fucking hell. Absolutely fucking solid. Oh joy. Just what we want. Word of warning. These little aluminium trumpets, fucking really easy to bend. Ask me how I fucking know. Fucking hell. They are properly fucking on there. I have to do something a little bit rude with a pry bar. You've got to be very fucking careful though. Sorry, I had to move you. I wanted to stand this side. That's my rag. Okay. Look away now, please. Don't try this at home. You'll fucking break something. Right, they're already loose. For some bizarre reason. Suggesting that somebody was in here. What is happening? Oh, it's the idle fucking jobby. What's it? It's better. I'm not sure that's even still in shot, is it, guys? Sorry if it isn't. I can't help you. I'm here trying to earn a fucking living. So please subscribe or become a patron. Listen, I'm not on the fucking breadline. I'm doing alright. But I'm a long way off being wealthy, I can tell you that for nothing. 2 kids, a wife and a mortgage. Okay, that's that then. So you're not quite. Let's get rid of that breather. Where's my rag? I don't want to scratch the frame, thank you. Why don't you just pull that out of there like that, Jim? Be easier, okay. Right, let's have a better look down those inlet ports. Put you down there for a second. This is really hard to film because the fucking thing doesn't want to focus. A bit of rubbish down in there, look, isn't there? Oh yes. Right, let's get the... got me focused lock, stand by. Yeah, let's get the belly pan off, let's get the coolant drained out of it, the radiator off, plugs out, the coils and stuff out the way, make a bit of space, then we can get bore scope in the plug holes, we can start airlining and turning it over and bore scoping and stuff, and generally making sure it's fit to actually turn it over. Well, so far the first few drips, lovely and green. That's what we like to see. Reach the radiator cap? Yes, I can. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? Lovely green coolant, not rusty water. The oil, what do we think this oil is going to be like then? I don't know. I'm doing it this way. I'm going to get a fucking handful of oil, but it's because the camera's in the way and I'm at a funny angle. Doesn't smell, still slightly transparent. Yeah, there's plenty of it. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Oil filter's a genuine one by the looks of things. Excrement, get that off and let's get rid of this radiator and get the plugs out. Well, I just lied to you. Fucking high flow. I mean, not that there's anything particularly wrong with high flow, I just put a fucking genuine part on it, for crying out loud. I know that's going to trigger some of you, but it's tough shit. I'm a genuine filter kind of a guy, unless it's a K&N maybe. Air filter that is, not oil filter. Yeah. Okay. Right, radiator. I think it might literally be the easiest radiator, radiator, why am I struggling with that word? Radiator in the world to get off. There's like 3 pipes. Why did you say that out loud, Jim? Let's get me tool. What was I saying? Yeah, really easy to get off. There's a couple of pipes, an electrical connection for the fan, 2 bolts, and it's away. It's just, they're a fucking joy to work on, these old bikes from this era. They're just not complicated for the sake of complication. Do you know what I mean? You just, oh, you dirty bastard. They're just, what's the word? They're just functional. Do you know what I mean? They haven't got lots of bollocks electronics for the sake of it. God, I sound like a right old git, don't I? You know, I have a massive appreciation for the new stuff, but I don't know, I just love the simplicity of this kind of thing. So I have a rag at the ready this time. Can I just twist it? Yes, I can. You gonna piss everywhere or not? Probably not, because that one goes down to the pump where I've already emptied. Thank you. I lied, 2 wires. That's the thermal switch. There's a fan switch wire somewhere. Here. 2 bolts and it's out. Okay, you're going to piss water out. Slide you off the top. Unplug me wire from the fan. E. Like that. Voila. 1 radiator. Does this qualify as a top tip? I don't think it does, but it's just common sense. I've drained the oil and I've taken the oil filter off. I'm immediately putting a new oil filter back on to seal it up, and I've got a new sump washer, a genuine one, by the way. You tight asses. There's nothing worse than draining the oil out of something. God, I sound like a psycho, don't I? And instead of having it having the nice chunky aluminium soft crush washer, it's got a fucking little thin spindly copper one on it. They're like 40 fucking pence each. Use the genuine one, you tight bastards. Yeah, I put the sump bung back in and put an oil filter on it. I haven't put oil in yet, I'm not going to forget that, but I just like to keep it sealed up. You know, this is likely, when we've done what we're doing today and I've got my shopping list, this is likely to go back into storage. Apart from the fact it might fucking drip oil out everywhere, I don't want to leave it open to the elements for stuff to get in it. You know, it would only take a fucking wasp or something to crawl in there, wouldn't it? Block up an oil gallery. Probably wouldn't happen, but just keep things sealed up. It's always a good idea. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could put a plastic bag over it with a fucking elastic band or something, couldn't you? But anyway, it's got a genuine Honda oil filter on it. Let's get the coils off and all that gubbins and take the plugs out, and we can start, remove this, and we can start turning the crankshaft and seeing where we're at. Possibly put a battery to it, on it, and do a compression test as well. That hasn't been out of there in 25 years, has it? Nice zinc plating still on them. Fucking hell, I'm not sure they make them like this anymore. Imagine a 25-year-old modern fucking Superbike that's been sat around. Can't imagine the zinc plating on the bolts would be any good. Get you out the front, I think. It's holding that on, I don't fucking remember. Do you remember? I don't fucking remember. How's that held on then? It just clips in the frame, does it? In a little slot. Oh, it does too. Honestly, didn't remember that one. Let's just, I'm pretty sure. No, I can remember just off the top of my head. It's fine. I was gonna take a photograph of wiring, but it's fine. Ground side switch coils. Not getting into that now. Wasted spark. The one on this side does 2 and 3, and the one on this side does 1 and 4. I was thinking it's got 12,740 miles on it, which is, you know, over 3,000 miles away from its 16,000 mile valve clearance service. But given I'm literally fucking right here, and for the cost of a cam cover gasket, I think I might just pull the cam cover and look. Given that we're going to all this effort, come on now, off you come. Thank you. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I haven't decided. Okay, airline. Let's blow out these plug holes. Get the plugs out. Now that all the gubbins is out of the way, I can look straight down onto those plugs, and it's nice and clean down in there. Well, say nice and clean. It's cleaner than a lot of them. Okay. Is that gonna work? Get rid of that. That's a bit excessive, isn't it? No nasty surprises there, particularly. Although they are Nippon Denso, not NGK, which I do not approve of. Right, bore scopage. I'll do you a screen record on here like I normally do. So this is number 1 cylinder. A little bit of schmoo in there, but not much. This is number 2. Yeah, that's a bit of crap, isn't it, got down in there? What the fuck is that? Looks like mold growing or something. Okay. Number 3. Uh-oh. This is fine, it can just get airlined out. And then number 4 was the one with the valves open, wasn't it? We're going to see anything in a cylinder. The engine's landed in a fucking really convenient place, isn't it, with all these valves? Okay, let's go down in the cylinders. So, get it in the fucking hole. Please don't make me fight. Here we go. That piston is, I mean, it's not at top dead center, but it's not far off. That cylinder wall looks lovely, and there's no shmoo in there. Number... oh god, are we doing this, are we? Thank you. Slight scoring on that cylinder wall. There's no rubbish in there. What you find when you borescope stuff, especially with a cheap borescope like this, well, I say cheap, not that cheap, the way the light reflects off the cylinder wall. I've looked in engines and thought, oh, that's really bad scoring, and then I've had them in bits, and actually when you look at them with Mark 1 eyeball, they're nowhere near as bad. So that doesn't alarm me at all. So this is number 3. Got some valves there which look nice. Yeah, that's fucking lovely in there. No bits got in. And then if there's bits in any of these cylinders, it's in number 4. Don't make me fight, thank you. So there's that's the inlet valve. Oh fucking hell, yeah, look at that. We have a bit of cleaning to do then. But apart from that, all looks good. That's good news. I'm going to get busy with an airline, clean these out, don't need to see that. Put a socket on the end of the crankshaft, turn it by hand, make sure all is well, put some oil in it, because of course I've drained the oil, haven't I? We'll put a battery on it, let's do a compression test. I am not worried at all at this point. It's a Honda, it looks perfect, it's done 12,000 miles. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. So that, the compression test and stuff, will probably be part 2. I'm just trying to get to a point, I'm trying to get all the, I fucking say it too often, ducks in a row, right? I'm trying to get my parts list so I can just order everything so I know where I am. So the next thing really is, I want to have a look at the carburetors. Let's do that next. Guys, carburetors in a minute. I need to know. Oh my fucking god. I have been using the airline though, so I'm not allowed to get cross. Stand by. Just fucking turn that off. Sorry. It's so organised. I'll do you a screen record on here. I need to know, don't I, that this thing actually has got compression before I start ordering hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of parts for it. You know, motorbikes like to fucking make fools out of you if you work on them. So I've just been doing cleaning, so I'll share this with you. So I literally just been spraying brake cleaner down in there and then airlining to death. And then, so yeah, so that's number 1. You get the idea. It's nice and clean down in there now. I haven't touched the engine at all. I haven't turned it over. And then for this one, number 4, the dirty one, inside, what I've been doing is I've been spraying brake cleaner down the inlet side because the inlet valve's open, so washing all this brake cleaner into the cylinder. And then I have a compression gauge adapter thing screwed in here with the, I don't know whether you know, but they have a little Schrader valve in the end for compression testing. Fun fact, long time ago I knew somebody that was using one of these adapters for doing a compression test, and the fucking valve, he didn't start off with bad compression, but by the time he'd finished his compression test he fucking had bad compression. Yeah, the valve fell out into the cylinder and got stuck under the exhaust valve. So make sure your valve's tight in your compression tester if it has a removable valve. So yeah, so I've been doing that, and then I've just been blowing compressed air down here into the cylinder, you get the idea, and See all the schmoo coming out. I haven't actually, that's not speaking properly. I haven't looked in this cylinder yet to see if I've ejected all the schmoo. We'll do it live, shall we? Oh, the suspense. Not. Let's put the camera down in there and see if we've got rid of the mingingness. Let's have a look down this port first. What's that on the head of that valve? Oh, it's just the light catching it. Right, let's go down in here. See if we've managed to do any good. Yeah, I think we've done good. There's a bit of schmoo there still. What I'll do is, I'll go down the plug hole now with a piece of thin pipe on the airline. I can wiggle this round inside the cylinder, get the last few bits out. Let's put a battery on it, put some oil in it. That way we can test all the electrics too, can't we? Make sure Mr. Mouse hasn't been having a nibble anywhere. I don't think he has. Although it's got this alarm system, hasn't it? So I don't know how that's going to behave because I have no fob for it. But if it comes to it, I'll just short the solenoid with a spanner just to do the compression test. Okay, let's do that then. Work, Jim, work. This is when we find it's lock solid. It's 14, isn't it, that? First time this crankshaft has turned in at least a decade, but looking at the old tax disc, it could be 20 years. Cross your fingers. Oh, you gotta love a fucking Honda. Lovely jubbly. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a battery on it. I'm going to put some oil in it. Let's hope that alarm system isn't interfering with things. You can turn the ignition on and look at the oil light. We'll spin it over. I'll give it a bit of a misting with some GT85 down the inlet ports as it's initially cranking. I don't want to get it soaking wet in there because I want a realistic compression test. But we'll give it a little tiny snifter of GT85 so it isn't bone dry, because I've been blowing in there, haven't I, with brake cleaner, certainly cylinder number 4. Then we'll do a compression test, and then we'll know for certain that I can be ordering loads of parts. Okay, battery. What the hell is all this? It's a fuse holder that isn't connected. Oh, that's the wire that once went to it. I don't know what that is. Is that something to do with the alarm? It's fucking surplus to requirement now. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, I'll be turning all this wiring back to standard on making an executive decision. I'm not even going to ask the owner. It's all got to go. All nice and original. I mean, these days you wouldn't have a shitty alarm system like that. I mean, you'd buy a fucking hell, you'd buy a £20 GPS tracker off Amazon, wouldn't you? MLT bar, which is there. Let's turn the key on, see what happens. That positive cable is, oh I see, it's just hooked up on the Where's the key then? Oh, it's in the fuel tap, in the fuel tank cap. Let's turn the ignition on, see what happens. Okay, place your bets. Nothing. Absolutely fuck all. Oh, I wonder what's... that'll be why then. There's a fucking lot of stuff disconnected here. Right, hang on. I'll be back in 5. Okay, back in the room. I've just given that lot a healthy dose of GT85. What I do, have I said, you've seen me do it a million times before, that, but after the big wash, which this hasn't actually had yet, it's going to go back outside. Once I've done all this, it's going to go back outside and I'm going to clean it to within an inch of its life. All the connection blocks come apart, and I like to just drench everything in GT85, and yeah, you've seen me do it a million times, haven't you? Right, hold your breath. Contact, yes. Okay, do we have a start button working? Fucking negative. We do not. Let me pan you out, zoom you out a bit, or you can see from there, look. Zilcho. Okay, is that a fight I want to have right now? Or shall I just short the solenoid out? For the compression test, I'm just going to short the solenoid. Got my ignition key. A screwdriver I really don't care about. I'm going to jam it in the... I'm not explaining how it works, but there's 2 big cables coming from the start solenoid. You know what I mean. I'm just going to short them out with a screwdriver. I am going to have the ignition on. I don't need the ignition on to make it crank, but can you see the oil light? I am interested in whether the oil light will go out or not. And the other thing I want to do is I'm just going to fog it a little bit with a bit of GT85 as it cranks. Obviously I filled it with oil as well. Let's see what happens, eh? Oh. It's turning over. See if that oil light will go out. Yes, fucking beauty. See that? Am I in the way? Well, that's a good fucking start, isn't it? Right, compression test. I've put my valve, my Schrader valve back in. Are we still in shot? Sort of, yeah. Let me go the other side. I put my little valvey back in. Let's see if it's got wind. In fact, I'll bring you around this side so you've got a better angle from this side. Connect you up there. Number 1. Can you see that? Where's my ignition key gone? There it is. Obviously, we don't need wide open throttle because we haven't got a throttle. We've just got a massive fucking gape. A natural gape. Fuck me, sparkage. Oh, look at that. Stop there. 175 and still going. Fantastic. Number 3. Come on, baby. Just one more time. Number 4. I fucking love it. Right, so that's that. I'm going to put a new set of spark plugs in it now while I'm here to seal it up. Put some bungs in there, and that's sort of done. Apart from potentially, maybe, did I mention it? I think I did, doing the valve clearances. But it's only, you know, it's over 3,000 miles away, but while I'm here, it's just so easy to get that cover off. It's just going to cost a cam cover gasket. Okay, now the only other thing before we call time on this video is let's just pull the float balls off the carburetors, try and get a little bit of a measure of what we're going to be up against there. So the final, they came off there easier than I thought they were going to. So the final bit of the puzzle for today is I need to understand what I need in terms of carburetor parts. Ignore this here, this is something else, this is another job. These slides are free, aren't they? I checked that already. Yeah, I need to know what I'm up against with these carburetors, and then I can compile my list and put this one back in storage while I wait for all the parts to arrive. They're going to need a bit of tappy, I think. On here, with my number 2 JIS's socket. Oh fuck. Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. They've fucking been in here for... I was expecting more of a fight. Is that good or bad? Don't know. Yeah, so I'm not going to strip these completely at this point because I've got a pretty solid understanding of what I'm going to need in terms of parts. That one feels a bit dodgy. I just want to look and see how bad they are. So as a standard rebuild with something like this, all the distribution pipe O-rings, float bowl gaskets, float needle valves, good clean. It really depends on the state that they're in. Fucking hell, that one's C, excuse me, in shot. The other thing to check too is when you're sort of assessing to see whether a carburetor is going to give you problems, is if the mixture screw is seized, I can put my fingernail in those and move them. So that's definitely not going to be a problem. The first thing I do when I get a set of carburetors in for work is I get a little flat bladed screwdriver and I see if the mixture screw will move, and then if they're CV carbs like these, I see if the slides are stuck. And you can tell a few things. You can tell how dirty they likely are internally because the slide needle hasn't been sort of captured in the emulsion tube from gooey fuel. So if the slide moves freely, that's a good sign. And then by moving the slide, get my mic closer, you can tell whether the diaphragm is any good. Anyway, it's not a carburetor building video, is it? Right. Get myself a pot for these screws. I'm hoping, I mean with any luck, the customer drain the float bowls of the carbs and they'll be okay, or not okay, but they're going to need a good cleaning service, but not a complete catastrophe. Like, if I can find the photograph, I'll put it, I've used it before, I'll put it on the screen. The worst carburetors I ever saw. Place your bets. Oh fucking hell, I'll take that. I mean varnishy. Screw in there still. I'm having that. I mean varnishy to a point where it would never run properly, but certainly not. Oh, that one's gooey. That's just a float wall gasket sticking. Cool. The worry, oh god, do I want to waffle about this? With a lot of carburetors, the float needle valve seat is part of the carburetor body, which is the case with these carburetors. And if they're really minging, you know, they're varnish everywhere and they're all gooey, they've been left for a long time, the seats can get pitted where they sat in fuel. This isn't the case with these, I can tell you that without even looking. Okay, I now have a sense of what I'm going to need. Not a lot, just the usual O-rings and bits and pieces. Right, let's have a quick debrief, and then that's the end of the video. We'll end the video sitting down next to it like we started it. Was it interesting? Maybe slightly. Did you learn anything? Probably not. I think the takeaway from this video is, if you've got something that stood for any length of time and you want to get it going again, don't just put a fucking battery on it and try and send it, because the air filter in this had that metal gauze, right? If that hadn't have been there, the engine would have been chock full of fucking God knows what. If the mouse had eaten all the way through the air filter, you turn it over, it would have all been fucking over. It would have held one of the valves open, would have been game over. So don't do that. Pay a little bit of attention at the beginning. Save yourself a lot of fucking heartache in the end. I've got myself a little bit of a list here. Put my old man specs on. On my list I've got oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, battery plugs, brake fluid, coolant, front caliper seals, rear caliper seals, brake fluid, chain of sprockets, fork stanchions, fork seals, fork oil, the carburetor bits, usual stuff, float ball gaskets, fuel distribution O-rings, float needle valves. Now fuel tap, question mark, don't know about that. The tap's fucking sea solid. Whether I can get a rebuild kit for that and do something with it, I don't know. I've got to clean the tank. I've got a process for that, which I'm pretty sure I've shared. The chemical I use, which is really inexpensive and does a really good job. Just takes quite a long time. Got to soak it for about a week. But I've sort of, over the years, this is where I've landed in terms of getting a fuel tank clean. It's not great if there's a lot of varnish, but if it's just rust, it works pretty well. So I'll show you that in part 2. Wheel bearing, yeah, so I've got a few things with question marks. Wheel bearings, they feel absolutely fine, and there's no reason why they won't be fine, so long as they weren't ever left with, water in them. The seals had started to go and water had got in, and then it had stood for years and years. It's done 12,000 miles. I don't think it's done very much work, really. The other thing I mentioned is I'll speak to the customer. Does he want me to do the valve clearances? If so, I'm going to need a cam cover gasket. And then the massive elephant in the room, of course, is the tyres. They're not dry rotted. There's plenty of tread on them. Do you want to ride on fucking 15-year-old tyres? I wouldn't, but it's another £300 on the bill in it for a good set of boots. Anyway, that's where I'm up to. I wanted to get to that point today just so I could start ordering things. And of course we know, sorry, I'll stop waffling in a minute, I promise. It's got good compression, it's got oil pressure. The wiring needs attention. It's not cranking, and it's got that alarm system and stuff. But yeah, essentially it all looks okay. Mr. Mouse hasn't been eating it anywhere, it would seem. Result. That's that then. End of part 1. I don't know how long it's been. I feel like I've been filming for fucking hours, so how it'll turn out in the edit, I don't know. If you like this sort of stuff, guys, please like and subscribe. And once again, I say it most videos now, don't I? Just because I am so grateful. My fucking patrons, I love you. I wouldn't be able to spend this much time filming and fucking around on a job like this. This is still a paying job. The customer's got to pay, but he'll be paying the labour rate as if I had my fucking head down going at a 300 mile an hour trying to get it done. Whereas in reality, it's taken 5-10 times longer because I've had the camera, you know what I mean? And it's the patron money that allows me to go slow on these jobs, film them, put them on YouTube. So you should all be grateful to the patrons if you're not one. Thank you, guys. I love you all, and I'll see you in part 2 whenever that'll be. For you, it might be next week. For me, it's probably going to be a few weeks, because now I know what I'm ordering. This has just got to get put to one side, and I'll pick away at it as and when I have time. Thanks, guys. End of waffle. See you soon.